Hey guys, I have a very special video for you today. Depending on how active you are in the Isaac community, you may or may not know that there is a big new update on the horizon for Repentance this coming November. The main deal of that update will be the long-awaited online co-op mode. However, the patch is also confirmed to come with more balance changes as well. The creator of The Binding of Isaac, Edmund Macmillan, frequently asks us on social media which items we consider to be the top 10 worst items in the game, so that he can look at them and buff them if he agrees. I always wanted to make my own list of 10 items I want to see buffed before the patch goes live, to maybe inspire the current developers, or at the very least give you guys a list to make fun of my takes. But then I was wondering, what do I know? I'm just one guy. And that's when I got an even better idea. Instead of making my own list of 10 items, I invited 9 of my favorite fellow Isaac YouTubers to make this list with me. So that's what this video is all about. We have 10 Isaac creators and each of them will tell you their one item they want to see buffed the most and give you their suggestion for a rework. You will probably see some familiar faces and YouTubers you already watch regularly, but you may also find some awesome new Isaac creators to watch as well. Either way, the links to everyone's channels are down in the video description, and some of them even turned their rework idea into an actual mod and showcased it on their channels. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump straight into everyone's reworks, and I'll see you with my own item at the end of the video.
Hey, I'm Vicfis, a full-time Isaac creator, and I would love to see the item Little Baggy get buffed. It's no secret that Little Baggy is one of the worst items in the game. Heck, can you even remember the last time you willingly picked it up during a run? The Repentance DLC even further cemented Little Baggy as a true never-grab item, even with PhD. More pills is just never worth locking yourself out of finding cards, runes, special pickups, and the incredibly powerful reverse cards. So here's how I'd buff Little Baggy to help change that. Firstly, let's keep the original effect of turning all cards into pills and allowing Isaac to hold 2 at a time. But let's limit this to just cards, no more getting rid of runes and dice shards. Up next, let's make this item actually interesting and have it add new positive pills to the pill pool. Pills like fish oil for increasing Isaac's tear size, or estrogen, which would increase Isaac's fire rate, not tear rate, they're different stats. Also the long-awaited for rhino pill to increase Isaac's damage. And since we need at least one poop-themed effect for an Isaac update, a holy sh pill that spawns a hallowed ground when used. These are just a few ideas for new pills, some of which have already been added in mods like Fiend Folio with great success. I think these changes would make Little Baggy a lot more interesting to grab while staying in line with its quality 0 status.
Yo, I am another Matt, Isaac extraordinaire. What did we think about the previous person's item they wanted to update? Pretty bad idea if you ask me, I don't know. So the item I want to see updated is an active item. It has 6 charges. It's quality 1. It is Isaac's Tears, everybody. Isaac's Tears. Give it up for Isaac's Tears. So the biggest issue with Isaac's Tears is just the animation time it takes for you to actually use the item. It doesn't help you because you lose DPS whenever you're using it. Now back in Afterbirth Plus, it was even worse of an issue. It got buffed in Repentance to actually decrease the animation time, so it feels a little more useful to use, but it's still not. Now my suggestion to try to at least tweak the item a bit to make it feel a little less underwhelming to use is to kind of delve further into an idea that's not really explored too much in Isaac, is to have a passive active item. Now a passive active item basically just means an active item with a passive effect. So my idea here for Isaac's Tears would be as long as you're holding Isaac's Tears, and as long as you shot 6 shots beforehand, the next shot you shoot out will do the Isaac's Tears effect. It will skip the animation entirely. You won't lose any DPS at all. You will only gain DPS by the tears going around you every 6 shots you shoot.
I'm gonna be honest, I really just want to see more of this effect of passive active items because that's not really explored at all in Isaac, except for like the pony, and that's about it. So yeah, that's my idea. Hopefully everyone thinks it's cool and sick and schnasty. Anyways, I don't know how to end this exactly. So,
You know what I hate?
Hey everyone, I'm Lonslo, by the way.
You know what I freaking hate? Bad familiars. You know what is arguably the worst familiar? Abel. Or should I say disable? Abel is a mirrored buddy, which means that he'll mirror Isaac's movements across the room. This is true for even big rooms. Bye-bye. Like seriously, how am I supposed to use this guy? I can't see him. However, what he doesn't mirror is the direction that Isaac is shooting, which is kind of weird, right? So how can we make Abel easier to use? First of all, we should have a set distance between Abel and Isaac. I suggest about half a room size because even the fastest enemies probably won't be able to escape Abel's shots, even if we don't increase the shot speed. So now he can hit enemies properly. But how can we make him even better? We can have Abel, instead of shooting towards the center of a room, attempt to shoot towards the player and adjust his position to do so. This would be a nice quality of life for the average Abel user. But this is just fixing the item. Let's get crazy. Stitches is for some reason a quality 1 item in Isaac, and it lets you teleport to Stitch's location on a cooldown. What if when holding down the fire button with Abel, it'll start a charge bar that, once filled up, will let you teleport to Abel's location, dealing damage across the path and making you invincible for a short time. This would be great to go over pits to get items, to finish off some enemies, or get you out of a sticky situation. I think this fits into the Mirror Buddy aesthetic pretty well and is something I'd like to see in Isaac.
Buff Abel.
Hello everybody, I'm Huts, and the item that I'm choosing today to be reworked is Data Miner. As it stands right now, on use for the current room, rotates every enemy and pick up 90 degrees, moves its sprite up and left, increases one of Isaac's stats and decreases another, adds random tier effects, and distorts the music. This item is somewhat of a joke item, a middle finger, if you will, towards the people that ruined The Lost, which was a hidden secret character on launch, and also Keeper's ARG. While I get Ed wanting to get that catharsis out, I really don't think the rest of us need to be punished. Here's some ideas for what we could do with it. What if Data Miner actually data mined some info? Much like Dreamcatcher, maybe it could tell you an item that's coming up in a future floor. Or maybe using it outside of an item room could tell you what's currently in that item room. This way you could potentially skip it and increase your chance of planetariums. Possibly you could use it in a boss room to see what's going to be in a devil deal before you go in there, so you could say, I actually am gonna go Angel Room this run because that's trash. Maybe you could use it to find the contents of a chest, much like Guppy's Eye. This could help you decide early game which chest might be worth your keys or bombs. Last but not least, what if Data Miner could show you what's hidden behind the Curse of the Blind question marks? This would be incredibly helpful to stop Curse of the Blind from ending your run entirely when you accidentally pick up Dr. Fetus as lost. Oops. Or you could use it for the entirety of the alt path to see what the secondary item is. I think any of these changes or any combination of these changes would make Data Miner actually worth having. And yes, I know you can use it to get 120 fire rate, but that's ridiculous. Stop, you need to stop. It doesn't make the item good. It just doesn't. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that you think that that would make the item worth taking. Suffer through like really negative fire rate to maybe one day get 120 fire rate. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why people, and like, don't even get me started on like, oh boy, if you had rock bottom. People are ridiculous. No, absolutely not.
Hey guys, Gorange here. So the item I want changed is Big Shocker, a Cursed Eye. You may know this item from accidentally picking it up from curse rooms when you have Curse of the Blind. And once you do it, you feel the biggest regret ever. Now the reason Cursed Eye is bad is pretty simple. If you get hit while charging Cursed Eye, you teleport, which is not that bad. All you need to do is just, not shoot when you're about to get hit, and then you can prevent that. But the real problem of this item comes when you're fighting endgame bosses such as Delirium. Because if you get hit, you teleport out of there. And if you were close to actually beating Delirium, no you're not. The same thing applies for Mega Satan, it applies for the Hush. Oddly enough though, the only place where this isn't the case is during the beast fight. If you get hit during the beast fight, you teleport inside the same room. So here's my first solution. Make it so Cursed Eye just behaves like this regularly. So this way you can actually do final bosses without getting teleported midway through the fight. Now another idea that I had was, after getting teleported once, you should now have a cooldown and not get teleported again until you clear the room. You'll be able to go back into the Delirium fight and do the fight without having the risk of teleporting out of it. Anyway, those are my two ideas. I hope one of them gets implemented. If not, I'm never playing this game again. Bye-bye.
Hello everybody, I'm TheTurtleMelon, and the item I would love to see get buffed is an item you may not expect. One of the most lackluster Devil Deal items, Black Powder. This item, while not completely useless, is rarely actually used on purpose. Even in the ideal situation, I can count on one hand how many times I've used this item intentionally in my 2,000 hours. Although its damage can be good, without high speed and flight, it's hard to take advantage of, and most of the time, once you have those prerequisites, you're already strong enough to not need it. All of this and it's a Devil Deal item. It's just never really worth the cost in my opinion. The theming of this item is really cool, and so for my buff idea I leaned into that theme, but in a way that makes it more useful at all stages of the game. Firstly, instead of the pentagram dealing damage, it now slows enemies within it until they reach a full stop over the course of 2 seconds, and the powder lasts around 30% longer before disappearing. Any enemy that reaches a full stop in it is then instantly killed by you summoning a demon, Bighorn himself. And if you have enough speed to make a large pentagram, you will instead summon Satan himself to stomp, killing any enemies in the radius. These changes should solidify the pentagram theming of the item and make it far more interesting to play around and actually something that you'll want to use in the early and late game.
How's it going, boys? My name is RomeLIVE, and the item I'd like to see get buffed is a little portal. For an item that has one of the most creative interactions, it sadly falls short in the area of actually being useful. Little Portal will absorb any consumables that are thrown at it, creating blue flies and increasing in size. When Little Portal consumes 4 pickups, it will create a portal to a random unexplored room while also resetting the damage bonus that it accumulates. Worst of all, Little Portal is not able to create pathways to any forms of special rooms, making its use case extremely minimal. The way that I would like to see this buffed builds off of the original concept, with every 5 pickups increasing the rarity of the portal. The pathway would be treasure room to secret room to super secret room to ultra secret room to the I am error room, with the portal spawning on the next floor. This makes Little Portal much better, but much more volatile, as if you want to explore the error room, you must sacrifice 25 pickups.
Yo, what's up gamers, and what's up to Slay? The item that I would want buffed in some form of way would easily be Linger Bean. I remember when Slay asked me this question, I thought to myself for like a couple minutes and I was like, dude, easily a Linger Bean. So I actually worked with a modder to help me actually get this in game, and I made a video based off of it. I wanted to keep the same thematics as keeping the Linger Bean on the screen and taking a while for it to really do anything, but this time just being a lot more flashy and also encouraging synergies. So at any point when you have Linger Bean, you can actually double tap, because I like the double tap mechanic that they add with the Repentance, to spawn a Linger Bean. It will act as usual as it currently does, but it's a little easier to push around. But if it's left in a room for a while, it will get bigger and bigger and start leaving behind Aquarius tears and also start raining down tears. And right here, of course, I just felt like it was appropriate for me to pick up a Play-Doh cookie and show you guys that it also works with different synergies. At about middle of the way of the cloud being completed, it will just shoot regular tears and some Play-Doh cookie tears, and once it's fully enlarged, at that point it will shoot 100% of your tear effects, so then it will become completely broken, but again, only for as long as the cloud stays on screen.
Hello guys, I'm Neonomi. There is a lot of bad items in the game, but all of them have some sort of use, except that one. Thunder Ties make you slow for 1 HP and ability to destroy rocks. Not to mention, sometimes Stompy effect is bad on its own. I want to make it more interesting without ruining original concept. I present to you buffed version of Sickness. 2 HP instead of 1, and you still that slow. If you touch somebody, they take contact damage and fly away with flat damage on impact. This effect isn't very strong or unique, but I didn't want this item to be very strong either. I want this item get out of never pick up status to situational status. Now it's just another contact damage item with its unique flavor. I'm sure you'll find it very good if you have Polaroid or Unicorn Stamp.
Hey guys, I'm SlayXE2, and the item I would like to see getting buffed is one of the rarest, but also one of the most forgettable items in the game. I'm speaking of Delirious. Delirious can only be found in the rare Angel Room item pool, and on top of that it also has a reduced item weight of 0.4, which makes it even harder to find than all the other Angel items. Do you even remember the last time you found it in one of your runs? For how rare the item is, it is actually ridiculous how bad it is at the same time. It needs a 12 room charge and only lasts for 1 room. And if you are unlucky, you can get a bad boss that just dies to contact damage in seconds. If I hear 12 room active item, I usually think of 2 very powerful ones, Mega Blast and Mega Mush, and that's exactly the level I want to see Delirious at. Make it a floor influencing powerhouse. Here are the 3 ideas I have to buff it. 1. Make it last for multiple rooms or a set amount of time, like the previously mentioned items. 2. Make it immune to contact damage so that it actually helps you instead of getting wrecked by any endgame boss. And 3. Make it change between multiple boss forms every few seconds like Delirium does. That way you are not screwed by a bad pull, and it would also be on theme. Any combination of these 3 or other ideas could make picking up Delirious actually worth it, and I hope that will be the case one day. And there we have it, guys. That was the 10 items we want to see getting reworked next month. What do you think about our ideas? Let us know in the comments. I would also be interested in seeing which items you guys want to see getting buffed as well. And while you are on your way down there, make sure to check the video description if you're interested in checking out anyone's channel. Lazy Mattman, Rome and TheTurtleMelon even made a video where they play their reworked item in a full run if you're interested in seeing those in action. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video format. If you did, feel free to let me know as well, and maybe we can do something like this again in the future. Bye!
He's the number one,
Isaac!
God's favorite son. His flowing robes reach down from heaven.